No, korako.
Tēnā koe te mana whakawā, mauri ora.
Tēnā koe.
Huri noa te whare nei e mihi atu kia koutou katoa. Mr Speaker, it is indeed my pleasure to stand in support of the Civil Defence Emergency Management Amendment Bill, and I'd also like to join other members of the House to wish the instigator of this bill, the Honourable Nikki Kay, a really speedy recovery. Kia kaha kia maia e Nikki. Sir, this particular bill, to me, as someone from Christchurch that has been through a lot of issues, a lot of important sort of changes, sir, that have taken place there. And to me, this bill, sir, is about two things. One is particularly about learning from the past events. And the second one, sir, is finding that balance between central and local government when talking about civil defence. And what it does, sir, is that there is in this bill improvement and recovery. There's the covering the transitional sort of periods, and there's the historical thing that has been looked at, some clarity, legislation mandates, and all of that, sir. But I suppose the first one, sir, the law changes will improve communities' recovery from the small and moderate scale. And this is sort of pretty much very frequent, sir, of the types of emergencies that we experience here in New Zealand. So the other one is around the transition, because even when we saw it in Christchurch, going from an emergency to a situation of a recovery and then a rebuild, what was really important here, though, is that there is an emergency and that the focus actually switches from response to recovery. And so this bill will better enable management of that transitional period. The other part, sir, historically also, is most of the attention has always sort of been given to preparation and actually responding to a particular event. However, as we've seen, sir, in the Manawatu and the Whanganui region following the severe storm in June 2015, the clean-up and the recovery phase can really involve a huge amount of work. So it's those sort of historical factors that a lot of this was based on. And in actually developing this type of implementation, there has to be sort of what's important too is sort of a clarity around the law. So the new law, sir, will give this, particularly to those who are leading this work, and to help ensure that it can be carried out as swiftly and effectively as possible. So it will also provide the appropriate authority for those directing, coordinating and managing the recovery itself. The other part, sir, that it gives a legislative mandate, which is really important. As providing that, sir, it's important that there's clear clarity, particularly with the recovery managers, and that bill, sir, will require that planning, recovery planning is definitely carried out, and it will also provide powers to support the transition to recovery through the creation of those transition notices. Sir, this bill is about getting communities back on their feet more quickly after an emergency, and I commend this bill to the House. Kia ora.